Hello and be welcome to another episode of Let's Develop Conway's Game of Life. Today I finally want to get started with the implementation or with the integration of my game loop project with my Conway's Game of Life project so that we can actually play the Conway's Game of Life. In order to do that, I want to treat the game loop as a black box framework, so to say, that I'm going to pretend I have imported from somewhere else. I'm just going to use it. I don't want to change it, so that maybe we can discuss some problems that might arise if you use some black box framework and some solutions to those problems. So I'm going to close that and just treat it as a black box and start my implementations here in the Conway's Game of Life project. So as discussed in the last episode, we have to create some classes to integrate the Conway's Game of Life implementation as it is right now with the game loop framework. And one of those classes we have to create is an actual game implementation. So you remember there's the game interface in the game loop framework, and we have to get an implementation of that game interface somewhere in our Conway's Game of Life game that is then actually responsible for running the game itself. So I guess it's going to be an adapter of the universe, because as I also discussed last time already, there's the update method in the universe which already seems pretty related to the update method in the game interface, but I don't really want the universe to directly implement the game interface, because this kind of feels like adding multiple concerns to the same class, because the universe is really concerned with updating the universe state, and I don't want it to be responsible also for rendering the state to some kind of UI and controlling the game flow, like stopping the game and stuff. So there's going to have to be some kind of new class, and that new class is going to have to implement the game interface. So let's get started. I'm going to start by creating a test, which I'm going to call, since I don't have a better name right now, I'm going to call it Game of Life. I could call it Game of Life game, but this kind of seems redundant to me. So I'm going to stay with Conway's Game of Life, and I'm going to add the game interface here. Let's finish that one. Oh, test, actually. This is a test class, and it's not going to implement the game interface. I'm sorry. I confused myself for a second, so let's correct that bullshit I just did. Okay, so we have the Game of Life test, and I'm going to have to write the first test, which says, since I'm already talking about the update methods that we have both in the game interface as well as in the universe, I want to have a test method that says invokes update of the universe. And in this test, I want to assert somehow that I'm going to write that in pseudocode, because there's no way to express it directly right now. So I want to assert that on the universe, the update method has been invoked. Something like this. And you may have guessed this already sounds a lot like using some mocking framework, insert a stub in there or a mock in there, and then validate, verify that this update method is actually called. thing when we have our unit under test update invoked, which is going to be the update method on our game implementation. And then of course I'm going to have to create this game implementation. Let's see, this is the game. Let's pretend for now that we don't have input, so we just use void as the input handler. Not sure if that's possible. I think input handler needs to implement an interface, so maybe that's not possible. But we'll see. This is the unit under test, and I somehow want to create that one as my no, it's not only called game of life according to my test game. And I'm going to have to pass in there somehow my universe. Okay, now this leaves me with a couple of problems, because if I want to verify on the universe that it's been updated, I guess I have to actually mock the universe, which currently I can't do because the universe is a class. So what I want to have is somehow a universe which is a mock object. Do I have Mockito here? Do I have Mockito already on the class path? Hamcrest, no, I don't. So let's quickly add it. As a new dependency, add Mockito. Mockito, let's see, where is it? JUnit Mockito, no, that's not exactly what I wanted. Mockito all, let's go with all, add it as a test dependency, 202 beta, why not? Add it here, and quick as that, we should have the mock methods, that's nice. So some kind of universe class thing is going to be mocked here. Question is, can I actually do it like that?